Morning, guys. I think I've been missing the boat on these Legend shocks that I bought. Today I just want to get into the shock a little bit more deeply because, quite honestly, I think I've been missing the boat on how to make the proper adjustments on these shocks for both two-up riding and for one-up or solo riding. Okay, so this is the Legend Aero A. It's a springless, coilless air ride shock that I purchased. As you know, I have a bad back, so I wanted to make the investment. Well, anyway, these shocks have two adjustment characteristics. Number one, they are adjustable. The spring rate, the downward pressure, the spring rate is adjustable through a onboard compressor which comes with the kit and is adjustable from the handlebars. So this is my adjustment, a button right here for the shocks, and if I want to go up to the top of the spring rate, I press this button, and if I want to go down and lower my my shocks and my spring rate, I press this button. Now it's important to have that spring rate adjusted correctly for both solo and two-up, and if you don't, you're not going to get the proper performance out of the shocks. So what I'm going to show you today is a quick and easy way to adjust these shocks. No muss, no fuss. And like I say, there are a couple of good videos out there on YouTube. I encourage you to take a look at those if you're interested. But this method I find works for me, and this is a good way to get the maximum out of your shock. So when you start off either riding solo or two-up, raise the shocks all the way to the top. Okay, so you have maximum height. At that particular point, for solo, what you want to do is drop down the shocks about 15 quick spurts on the compressor, and that'll give you about 1-inch sag. You want at least 1 inch of sag when you sit on the bike as a solo rider. For the control of the rebound down here, I set this to 3 for solo. Now, for two-up riding, raise the shocks all the way to the top, just like you would for solo. And once you're at the top, drop down the spring rate from the top about 8 or 10 quick spurts. Not as much as if you were going to ride solo. And when your rider gets on, that will give you the 1-inch sag. And then for the rebound adjustment down here, once again, I set this to 6 on both sides. And that increases the rebound, and that should give you a nice soft ride. The key, once again, and the mistake I was making, is don't adjust the shocks so they're too stiff. You may think you're doing the right thing, but you're not. You need to have at least 1 inch of stroke, if not more, frankly, in the shock, so you get that nice soft ride soft but still firm ride, and that makes a big difference. So I hope this helps you guys adjust your shocks. You know, nobody tells you this when you buy them, and then when you go back and you ask questions after you bought them, nobody knows the answers. You just have to experiment yourself and find out what works best. And if you don't experiment, if you just keep it set at the same thing, you're going to ride from now till doomsday with the wrong settings, and you're not going to get the maximum performance out of the shocks.